We got him. Not the biggest fish in the world. We're off the mark. Little jack. Lovely condition. Very different colour to what they normally are in here. Normally they're very pale. This one's really nice, dark and green. Maybe the summer and all the weed covers changed the complexities of their colouring. But it's a lovely little fish. There we are, off the mark. Look at that predator up close. Let's get him back without any due time on the bank. Hey, first pike by design of the season. We had one on the last sander trip. First pike trip of the season, we blanked, but we're off the mark. Morning troops, another day, another drain. We're off to a good start. It's been a lot of hard work even to get a bait in the water, but we're off to a good start. We've had one, we're on a Lincolnshire drain, free fishing, all you need your Environment Agency rod licence. And the first swim I turned up to this morning, 6 o'clock, I weren't going to, it was so overgrown. No one's fished it for years, a couple of years. I didn't fish it last season, no one fished it all summer, so it would have been too much hard work for me in the dark to get it even remotely fishable, so I'll leave that one to die down. The winter to do its work, let it clear the swim for me. But yeah, so I moved along a couple of 100 metres to another little spot I know. It looked perfect. Got down, cleared a bit of a swim out, didn't take me long that bit, and then I could see the weed, and there is a ton of it. I mean, a ton of it. October, there's normally plenty of gaps in the weed, plenty of places to get a clear spot you can get a nice bait in and fish, but not along this little stretch here, no way. It's bank to bank, blanket weed. That's the long, hot, dry summer we've had, and it's, the weed has thrived. But there's time to get the rake out. Hour later, I've raked 3 spots, so just goes to show you, fishing has to be fluid. You can't, it can't. Let me get comfortable. It can't be set in stone. It can't be set in stone what you're going to do all the time. Now, I was at home yesterday. I decorated the bathroom. And then I thought, well, I'll get my rods ready. I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly how to fish them. So I built all my rods up yesterday. And, my plan was to present 3 dead baits on the deck, leisure, but there's no way with this weed I could do that. So what I've done is I've spent a good hour, maybe hour and a half, raking out 3 spots. So I've got 3 clear spots amongst all the weeds, so I've got to be pinpoint accurate with me, not only with my presentation and my casting, but also the way the line goes into the water. So if I had a leisure going tight or even loose to a weight on the bottom, it'd be running through loads of weeds, and you've got more chances of getting even more tangles or losing fish. So what I've done is I've gone with dead baiting with the floats, with the sliders. So that way, your line's at the top, just under the surface, and it just drops straight down, doesn't it, into the clear spot. So that's where I've gone, so I can just flick out my dead baits into the clear spots. So I've got 3 baits presented, lovely. First rod was only out 15-20 minutes, and I've had a small jack, a nice jack. So we're off the mark, we're up and running. It's a glorious day. I'll spin this camera around, show you me swim. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm really, might be a bit too warm for piking today, but the problem is if you book your week off a year in advance like I do, I always book it off for the first week of October. That's me, set in stone. I have that time off all the time. So the last few years it's been warm. Not always. Sometimes it's been wet and windy, but on the whole, it's been roughly around the 13-14 degrees. But apparently it's like up 16, 17 today. You can see me squinting already. Got to root my sunglasses out of my bag. Sun's out. So let's spin this camera around. I'll show you the swim. So we've got 3 dead baits on, and I'll run through exactly what baits on each rod. And the left dam rod, there she is. Midstream to the left hand of the swim in about 4 foot of water, and that's quite deep for here. They'll be dropping this down soon to 2.5–3 foot, so I'll make the most of it while it's got a little bit of depth. So that's 4 foot of water. There's a whole sardine mounted on a single hook, hair rig style, and it's a curved hook, size 4. And we'll see what that brings. Middle rod again is halfway across, 4 foot of water in between 2 weed banks. Nice clear spot. We've got a whole mini bluey on there. And then the right hand rod, again, there's a big weed bank in between the right hand rod and the middle rod. To the right of that, and we have a whole joey mackerel on there. Again, 4 foot of water. As always, I set my stop knot over depth. So I've got my stop knot around 5 foot. That way, a bit of line runs off when I initially take it without any resistance before that stop knot hits the top of the float. It's a glorious day. I don't know whether it'll be a glorious day for piking or not, but there's a little breeze, but not enough to put a ripple on the water. So I've been really busy. Been out here since 6. It's 9:30 now. We've been fishing about an hour. Time to have some breakfast. Get myself a porridge pot. There we are, fishing for a couple of hours. It's better than I thought it was going to be. It was really bright and sunny this morning. Got a bit of cloud cover, got a bit of breeze on the water, nice little ripple. Hope it doesn't interfere with the lost for words, the audio. Oh, what a wally. Audio. I'm not even going to cut it out. Yeah, I could try and make myself look like I'm a professional all the time. Well, I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a nice ripple on the water, but it's as I say, when I said earlier, you know, your fishing's got to be fluid. You get presented with different problems at different times, and you've got to adjust. And so I've done my rigs the day before, so that went out the window. So I'm float fishing. I've created a couple of free clear spots, and so I've got cast directly into them. But that gives it your own little problems. You can't cast the float directly to where your biggest clear patch is, because the bait on your hook is heavier than the float, so that goes ahead of you into the weeded area, and you can see your dead bait come to a rest a foot or two under the surface on top of the weed. You know, the seagulls will have a field day with that. So it just means a slight adjustment to my casting style and distance, but other than that, you know, just underarm flick and they're in, and they're coming back clean. The weight's coming back clean, the hook's coming back clean. I just got to wait for the fish. I've seen a pike downstream chasing fry. I've seen one just to the left of me, quite close in, chasing fry. So there's pike about. I've had one, when I first started raking the swim, I spooked one. I threw my rake in the first go, and there's pike, you can see him just under the surface, mid-double, and he was off. So I spooked one straight away. But my reasoning is, if you course fishing and you rake a swim out, you catch fish on there 20 minutes later, don't you? So I'm hoping I haven't spooked them too much and they come back. But you know, it's can be a hard fishery, this. You can get, you know, through the course of the season you have just as many blanks as you do good days. And so it's, you know, it's a case of trying your best. I can't even manoeuvre my baits, but I'm still recasting. As I said, I've said it hundreds of times, your bait could be right in front of a pike and it's not even taking a notice of it, not interested, not hungry. All of a sudden you reel it in and then you splash it back in front of it. All of a sudden it's a different ball game. I say, well, what's that? Investigation. Or pick it up and run. So quite often you'll get runs and you'll get bites just after you've cast out. So even if you're only got a very tight place to place your baits, it's still worth bringing them in and recasting. I'm not doing it every half hour. There's no point. I'm fishing clear spots. So but every hour I'm just giving them a recast. Just to peek, you know, see if I can pique any interest in any passing fish. But as I say, it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. It's only about 13, 14 degrees. But yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, it's overcast. As I say, there's a breeze blowing towards me. It's blowing right to left, but you know, it's lovely. Just got to catch some fish now, haven't we? Sound like a broken record, but we're going to catch. I mean, I'm confident this season, you know. I'm confident every season. If you're not confident, why are you doing it? You know what I mean? If you're not confident, you've got to change things. But I am confident. I know, you know what I mean? These waters are my bread and butter. You know, if I had to catch a fish to save someone's life, this is the sort of venue I'd come to in October and November to catch a pike and a wheel. We've already had one, but I want a few more. And along this stretch you can, I mean, I've had days when I've had multiple fish, like, you know, 6, 7 fish in a couple of hours, so just in case if the pike move through to find my baits, then we're laughing. So let's get cracking. Oh. Well, afternoon troops. Weed cutting boats have been through. They're obviously off to the narrower stretches further upstream. That's a good sign, you know. Needs doing. Hopefully they'll go up this section I'm going to be fishing next. Give me a nice clear patch. But yeah, it's been a funny day. You know, I had one fish straight away. Middle rod went. And it was not huge, but as with all single hook rigs, it was, well, my one seemed to be about 8. You know, as it's ticked along, about 80% of the fish I hook on these single circle hooks or curved hooks hooked in the scissor. And this was no exception. You know, simple matter of index finger and thumb. Hook out, you know, it's that simple. And that was a great start. I thought, well, here we go, and then had a bit of a lull, and then my right hand rod went. Not positive run, playing around with it, moving it about, but enough to nick it. You know, it nicked a Joey mackerel. So we've had one, and we've done up like a kipper by the other so far. Left hand rod has not so much as tweaked. So, and it's my go-to bait, my favourite bait, a sardine on that rod. That hasn't, so there's no interest there at all, but the other two rods have hardly been electrifying either, you know. Let's not dress it up. I've had two bites, one decent run and one tentative run. Hooked one, lost one. No, well, I didn't lose one. I didn't have to lose it. You'd have to have it on, wouldn't you? So yeah, so I hooked one, landed one, and the other one's nicked my bait. So it looks like it's a waiting game, really. You know, it's impossible to go along and cut holes in the weed everywhere you want to rake every swim you want to fish. So the baits are well presented, clear spots in between weed banks, and I've just got to hope the fish find them. You know, I've boosted them all up with sardine oil, sardine and anchovy oil, so they've all had a good injection of oils into the baits now, so hopefully oozing a few more attractants out into the water. And I think it's a case of just waiting for the evening feeding spell, and hopefully take a couple before it gets dark. Not the greatest of days, but not the worst of days either. You know, I'm out on the bank. It's not horrendous conditions. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here in a gale force wind or torrential rain. It's a pleasant day. Just need a few fish to elevate it into a good day, or one or two very big fish to elevate it to a fantastic day. Always positive. Glasses always are full with me. You know, I know last season I moaned a lot about not catching on the occasions when I blank, but you know, when you're out pike fishing, you're gonna blank. Well, the venues I fish are definitely are gonna. You know, this drain is a hard nut to crack. You can fish here all day and not get a run. Once this water drops down to it's like 2.5, 3 foot, and it becomes really tough. You know, seagulls can see your bait, and you know, the bottom is up and down. It's not a uniform drain. It's not, you know, like some most drains come down across and back up. You know, quite uniform, aren't they? You know what I mean? But this one, I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen it. You know what I mean? I've been fishing up here 20 years in this area. I've never seen it being dredged, and to be honest, I don't think I wouldn't even know if it ever had been. It's up and down all over the place, and if you don't know where if you don't know the drain very well, you can cast out into 8-10 inches of water, and you know, midwinter, after Christmas, you know, you're looking at, in some places, only 18 inches of water. And you've got fish in that. That's where the fish will be, in the deep water. The 18 inches to 2 foot, that's the deep water, believe it or not, on here. But as I say, we're all settled in. The baits are in clear spots. Injected them with some sardine and anchovy oil, and I hope we can ambush another or several before we go. Doesn't matter what venue you're on, what part of the country, the evening, just before it gets dark, always seems to drop. Wind speed, cloud, hassle. It's like a mill pond here. It is absolutely beautiful, absolutely perfect. Just recast, boosted baits, all injected with oil. Come on, you pike. I mean, it is a fantastic evening now. There's still pike moving around. Got to tempt one of them, surely. He's swapping the hats around for good luck. That ain't worked. It's drawing to a close today. I've got about an hour's light left. So I'm going to fish right up till it gets dark. If I don't get a chance, I ain't caught anything. Thank you for watching. I'll do it now. Thanks everyone for watching. I really do appreciate the views. We've had one up till now. I'm hoping, that we nab another one. I mean, it's evening now. It's perfectly still and calm. There's a pike just back there, splashing around, working its way to my baits. Everything's for me is on tenterhooks. So really want to nab another one, and a big one of the girls in here. But early in the season, we ain't blanked. We've caught fish. We've been out on the bank all day. Better than working. So thanks very much for the views. If you haven't yet, think about subscribing. Just press that button, subscribe. Don't cost you anything. You don't get pestered with notifications. Just helps the channel grow and means that you'll see my videos when they come up. Having said that, why would you want to be in watching videos when you could be out doing this? It is a lovely evening. It really is lovely. So yeah, we've got about an hour's light left. Gonna fish hard until it gets dark, and then I shall head off home. I've lost track of the amount of tractors that have gone up and down here today. These guys work hard, keeping the crops in. And it is crops around here. It's all onions, potatoes and beets, turnips. So they're all cracking on. So it could have been so much more today, The ideal scenario would have been there's plenty of natural gaps in the weed. Then I would have fished to swim for an hour or two. Then I would have moved on to another one. But it's chocker with weed. So I've made me clear spots, took the gamble. I don't think it's paid off. One fish all day, one nick your bait. It's not edge of your seat stuff, is it? But it's still early doors. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time if I don't catch anything, because if I do, I'll be rabbiting on again in a minute. Thanks for watching, troops. Well, we ain't gone home, but I tell you, since I last spoke to you, that left hand rod with a sardine, there's twice. I've seen it before it's registered on the alarm. I've seen the line right up to my rod tip twitching. Got in position, got ready. Nothing, no bite developed, no run developed, nothing. Both times. Strange that. Normally a pike finds a bait, they normally wolf it down once they've shown an interest in it. But yeah, so twice the line's twitched right up to the rod. I've seen the float, then I've seen the float movement and the registration on the alarm, so you get all set and nothing. The first time it happened I thought, oh, better check my bait still there, because sardines are soft. Yeah, bait was intact, no problem in that respect. No, not even any, a fly just flew right into my eye. Not even any damage to the fish, so there's definitely something out there showing an interest in it. But as of yet, it's not developed. teasing me. But as I say, it's not dark yet, it's a witching hour now. The sun's almost set. There's still movement all around. So I've had movement on that left hand rod twice now. Right hand rod and middle rod. Nothing, not even a hint. But that's the way pike fishing goes. You could be sitting there thinking, well, that right hand rod's never going to go. Nothing's ever going to happen with that. And also it just goes. But that left one, I mean, I've had big perch in here take dead baits. They normally run off of it a bit further than that, drop it, come back, and they have a go at it a bit, you know. But don't know. You think the run would develop? I mean, the first time when nothing happened, I even tried twitching it a bit, you know, to instigate a snap, but well, you know, nothing there. Reeled in, bait was intact. So I injected it with a bit of oil and flicked it back out on the same spot. 5-10 minutes later, again, you can see the line playing out. You think, yeah, here we go. All the right movement. Float was starting to bobble around a little bit. You think, yes, here we go. Beep, beep, beep on the alarm. I like to use both, you know what I mean? That way if I'm busy doing something else or looking at another rod and one goes, I've got dual indication. I've got the alarm and the float and the bait runner, of course. So you've got 3 warning systems there to let you know you've got something on the go, but nothing developed. Perhaps it's a big old sly girl that's seen it all and done it all. She's just waiting for it to get a little bit darker before she wolfs it down. We'll see, we'll see.